Alternative practice, week 2, assignment 2. There are a number of contemporary projects that collect and collate alternative approaches to the practice of architecture. Alternative practice, whose approach brings together diverse practices in order to elaborate different ways of thinking and acting in relation to architecture and urbanism. Alternative practice gives space and visibility to alternative and marginalized ways of inhabiting space. The actors are intended to modify and activate the existing use and character of the urban environment, testing the limits of what is tolerated in an increasingly privatized and surveyed public realm. Alternative practice encourages agency and self-empowerment within an individual context, allowing communities to identify problems. Through site analysis and availability of attainable resources, make changes that are suitable for both individuals and communities as a whole. It provides a model for other ways of operating in an increasingly complex spatial network. It is founded on two strands. Firstly, the multiple historical and contemporary examples from across the world that show how transformative spatial judgments might be deployed. Secondly, the belief that architectural education is uniquely positioned to develop spatial awareness and judgment, which then allows future practitioners to make sense of the intertwining of social, global, ecological, and virtual networks that shape the production of any spatial environment. But for these to happen, the practitioners will have to grasp a wider set of tools than aesthetics or technology alone. Where architecture has been limited by its obsession with the way things look or are made, alternative spatial justice employs other skills such as negotiation, communication, and economic noun. The studio workshop highlighted that alternative practice does not mean abandoning the design of buildings as part of the architectural role, but understanding it as one act amongst many, because the act is part of a social continuum. One sees design as embedded in a temporal context, such as informal settlements, in which spatial processes and buildings are exposed to adaptation, indeterminacies, and ecological changes. The workshop highlighted the importance of teamwork and the role played by each individual. It also challenged our capability or capacity to think beyond the norm, to find a middle ground between political powers and the members of the community. If one accepts the tenets of alternative practice, which at heart reflects the ways of behaving over specific ways of doing, then one returns to the act of design less concerned with the conventional pressures to gild the surface and redefine the details. Instead, the focus is on the social conditions that the design will engender. That is what alternative practice should do. They point to the possibilities of achieving transformation in manners beyond drawing of lines.